Um, it's been more than 2 weeks since our previous monologue, and more than a week since my last even video uploaded of reading Riddle Joker. And firstly, reason why I haven't uploaded monologue, which is supposed to be uploading weekly, because I tried to, well, 6 days after the previous monologue, I recorded the video. Spoiler, I did not. So as you could guess, I thought I was recording, but my phone battery did not think so, and my phone turned off. I think it's my first time ever having problems, especially with my phone turning off because of having low battery, and not because of any problems with memory. And second time, after like 3 days, I tried to do it again, but then I had the problems with memory. Yeah, I had not have any problems with memory on this phone particularly. It was first time, and the reason being so because I'm using Mi like platform. So for some reason, when I check like my memory, what it consists of, uh, what's the reason me not having any space left, was because the the section other uh, is something like 20 gigabytes out of 64, and 20 gigabytes is just something which I don't even know what is, and they can't even say what is it. But for example, the system itself is something like 12 or 15 gigabytes, and then videos are something 10 gigabytes, and apps and data is 15 gigabytes. And apps and data mostly is because of using messenger called WhatsApp. Yeah, it does take a lot of memory. It's something like 7 gigabytes. Yeah, I guess something around those numbers. And I think, yeah, that's all. So, and then I just did not record. I did not even try. So it's been already something like 4 days. I did not count. Something like 4 days probably. And then, or maybe even more. And then what else? So the next, secondly, yeah, the reason I have not been uploading me reading Riddle Joker, first one, and it is about uploading like reading sessions of visual novel in general. I don't see any necessity to do it now, because it takes too much space, too much, not space, too much time actually. uh, I don't mind having like a little bit, fuck it, like, well, it does weigh something like 2 gigabytes, maybe one hour video. But I mean, after uploading it, I deleted immediately. And then what else? I even did like 480 pixels quality of the video, not even HD. And then, so it isn't that much. But anyway, because of having very low speed internet, it takes something like, yeah, computer, my PC is on like whole day uploading all these videos. It takes something like 2 hours to upload 40-minute video, which is not even HD in HD quality. and yeah, it sucks a lot. Yeah. 8 megabytes speed is not a good speed. I think if I'd have at least 100 megabytes, I would definitely continue doing it, but otherwise I cannot watch anything while uploading. I cannot download anything. Plus, considering the fact that I'm not living like by myself and I'm not the only one using internet, other people in my house also watch something, or maybe they need to download something. So yeah, it is a big burden. And then generally, how has it been with Japanese, with reading in particular? Because yeah, I have been more getting concentrated on it. I actually, in this more than 2 weeks, I hadn't read the Mushoku Tensei. I didn't even. I think I got to the point something like 70% done in a week, or maybe a little bit more than a week. But then I just lost interest in it. Yeah, it's not that interesting. I'm something like 85% of the book done, but even though 15% is not that much, but it's not interesting for me, and it is plain text, and it's harder to get through it. So I'm not really interested, and I've actually started reading like real interesting visual novel, second highest rated on the visual novel database, and second by popularity too. It is, of course, Steins Gate. Has just an incredible anime adaptation, second season too, like continuation of the visual novel of the first part, Steins Gate Zero. And I'm reading Steins Gate, and I've been reading something like already 16 hours. I actually started from the start of this month, from the November. I started to record how much I immerse, how much I learn Japanese in general, how many hours I read, how many pages, characters. Well, in the Excel page where I'm recording it, it is actually an Excel page which is made by one German guy who's also learning Japanese for a while now, for 3 years, more than 3 years, 4 or maybe already 5 years. But he's pretty good at Japanese, and he actually started recording everything from the beginning, and he created the Excel page. And they're actually you can't really type how many characters you have read, because but you can record like books, how many pages you read. And I've actually counted how many pages on one of the pages of the Mushoku Tensei, and it was 486 characters. But of course, comparing to other visuals, comparing to some pages where there are a lot of conversations, there are a lot of space left. So as a consequence, we get that on the page we have pretty small number of not a big amount of characters. So I didn't think that much about it. So as an average, I got I'm considering 486 characters as the average number of characters on one page. So on the Excel page, I write like, instead of the like book name, I wrote Steins Gate, and then the number of pages I just also using the texthooker.com, like the site where the any text on your clipboard gets into. There's also like number of characters. How many characters is it? So I just count at the end of the day, like how many characters is it. So I just the number of these characters I just divide to 486, so I get the number of pages, and into the Excel page, Excel document, I write the number of I got from this no the from this accounting is just Keisan, not the Keisan, a little bit of an, yeah, let's say Keisan, from this calculation, yeah, Keisan. So it's been something like first day I read, I started reading Standard 31st November, October, something like in the evening, and I didn't read that much. So, but I have like recording starting from 1st November, and I did 51 pages, which is basically 51, which is something like 25,000 characters. Yeah, 25,000 characters. And the next day I got actually 75k. It was actually yesterday. Wait. So does mean, so I have been like, yep. I started recording how many characters, like, and how many characters I read and all this stuff from the 2nd November. Yeah, I guess we got to this point. So I read 75. Oh no. Everything is correct. On the 2nd November, I read 75,000 characters. Yesterday, it was 50,000 characters, and today, up until now, it is only 13,000. So yeah, my average reading speed is something like 12,000 characters to 15,000 characters. Yeah, it is something on these numbers, but that's only about the visual novel I'm reading right now, Steins Gate, and reading speed can easily depend on the difficulty of the text itself, and for example, reading light novel, it can also change, because in light novel most of the time it will be more difficult, because I mean, in the light novel there are also a lot of monologues, but there are also way more monologue, and like describing your so-called environment and all the stuff. But in visual novel there are way more dialogues, and there are also monologues of like protagonist, his thoughts, but anyway, it is easier because you get the visuals, and also due to seiyuu voice acting, you can, if you're not if you didn't really get what's going on from the intonation of the voice actor, you can understand is something good or bad happening. Yeah, in this from this perspective, visual novel is easier, and also considering the fact that I've already watched the anime and I know what is going to happen, what is story about, and the anime adaptation is really on a very high level. Just it is perfect, I would say, because they font the ideal like ratio between not adding everything, so it won't be that much long, but at the same time adding the most like very good parts and still having vibes of the visual novel. Yeah, and that's also mm, what I fuck Kizita. What I noticed when I was reading Mushoku Tensei. So so the reason me not even completing it in a week, because I was going to like do it in a week or maybe even faster, because well, first 20% was first 30% was going pretty easy, but then 1 second. There's actually like stove, and I have to look. There's actually a furnace I'm stoving up, and I have to like be sure is it going okay or anything else, and time to time insert the fuck, how was it, hidane, I think in Japanese, hidane, yeah, coal like the one which 1 second, I'll say hidane, I'm sure, right? Yeah, I'm sure. Not sure I'm right. Live calls, yeah. Live calls for fire lightning. Yeah. So first 30% were easy, but then there happened actually. I did not understand what's going on, what's happening, and yeah, I was like, what the fuck is written here? I don't know this language like completely. I'm like, yeah, but the reason being so because there actually happened like changeover of the first perspective of the characters. Mm, one line ago, page ago, we got the view from our protagonist, and he was going somewhere on his like journey. He was like, yeah, he was doing monologue and describing what's going on around him, but then the next suddenly they started to speak about completely other character, and that he came to some harbor, and there's like sea breeze and all this shit, and I was like, what the fuck, and like I didn't understand anything at all, and I was like, I started to neglect reading, and because I did not understand what's going on, and I was like, well, if I read this 30% in like 2 days easily, like chilling, I'll get to like reading, I'll get to continuing it yesterday or maybe after 2 days, and I can easily like catch up. But then I did not catch up. I didn't do anything else. I didn't know anything at all. But then I was like, okay, I think it's time to do it, to actually get serious and try to read it. But then again, uh, but then again, what? Fuck, I forgot what I wanted to say. So I just continued reading, but then in the next few pages, there was actually an illustration of our character, that character, which was describing that he's on some harbor and there's sea breeze, and he's like blessed, not blessed. He was like amazed by the view and landscape and all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, is that what he tried to like tell to me, convey to me? So like this character, you just made a changeover of like, you just have to forget about what was before, and like they just started to tell what's going with this character, and yeah, and then I just continued reading, and then again, not actually this, but different thing happened. I just also didn't understand what happened. I thought I understood, but it was misunderstanding. And again, I was like, I didn't want to read, but then I realized that, oh, actually, there isn't like an anime rating of Shokutense, and I think because the anime is adapting, should be adapting like fourth, fifth, and sixth volume of the light novel. I was like, I think first episode should be something like somewhere here, until like 40% of how much I've read, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out, and I didn't. I actually started watching without subtitles, without any subtitles, raw anime, and of course I was understanding everything, but when it got to this moment, and like they showed what happened, like what really happened, and I reread it, and I was like, oh, okay, now it totally makes sense, and yeah, and actually in the anime, I noticed a lot of a lot of changes, not changes, yeah, the differences between light novel. For example, in light novel, they even changed like the order of like what is happening. For example, think which was said like in light novel, somewhere like here, and they just changed the places, and something which was mentioned and said in the light novel after happened was shown before, but actually it's not bad, I think, because anyway, all of this thing was actually happening at the same time, but just the order of telling them in the light novel was different, and yeah, I think it isn't something that important. It doesn't really change anything or mean anything to plot that much. And another thing was actually how they changed one scene. So actually, there was a scene where our character is going on the street, and he saw some little girl. He sees some little girl crying and getting bullied. Yeah, she was getting bullied by some like massive guy, and then our character used magic and knocked down that guy, and then yeah, she says thank you, and we're not really interested in what happens after. But in the anime, that bully guy was actually like not the bully guy, just some massive character just passed through her, but she was like in a bad condition in general, like the little girl herself, uh, because she looked very poor in general. Like, yeah, even in the light novel, she was described as like very poor because she didn't have a good dress and wanted to like she was hungry. But in anime, she did not get like attacked that big, massive guy, and she was just poor and hungry. And then our character, just after seeing her, like approaches to her and starts to like speak with her. And when this happened, I was like, I was in a like, yeah, I was dumbfounded because like that it is like changing the whole scene, because I don't know, maybe it does not like do that much for the plot, but anyway, like what's the reason changing it, adapting it on like completely, and showing it by the completely other way? I don't know. That's kind of not good. And then after reading a little bit more, I also noticed that they also changed some other this kind of scenes, and also what else? Yeah, and in general, like in the light novel, our character have a lot of monologues, like thinking a lot, but they did not adapt it. Well, it's actually pretty hard to adapt in general, like on the anime. And in anime, it was just our character looking at the situation and like having kind of this look of like that he's thinking, but it ends on that. So I think that's all what I noticed. And yeah, light novel was more detailed, definitely, and there are a little bit more situations. Some things have not been adapted, not even like also some other scenes. So yeah, and actually about Seishin Butayoro, after like seeing the adaptation of Mushoku Tensei adaptation is very good. Yeah, I'm not saying that it is bad, but anyway, like comparing to other light novels, there are actually way more worse adaptations. But Seishin Butayoro is like, I think it is the best light novel adaptation ever, because everything I've read in the like these 2 volumes, it did happen in this like I think 4 episodes or even 5 episodes, first 5 episodes of the anime adaptation, and it was really like um, fuck, god level. I would say god level adaptation. Now realizing it. So yeah, and yeah, I have been more concentrated on reading only Steins Gate, only visual novel, because I don't know. I'm thinking about starting reading one light novel. That light novel was actually my first light novel ever read, and it was in Russian, and it actually happened something like 1 year and 1 month ago when I read it. Yeah, in the beginning of October, or in October. Yeah, I did read, or maybe even in the end of the September 2020. I did actually read the Usurna Hoktu Zerno Maria. In Russian, it was Пустая шкатулка и нулевая Мария. I believe so. Yeah, I remember the translation, and this light novel in general is actually very popular, and not very popular, but it's considered as a very good light novel in the community actually. But I did not know about that. I have no idea how I stumbled into it and started reading. Uh, I think I was like there is this thing called Ranobe, which exists, and it is also considered as one of the otaku's thing. And I was like, wanna try it, and then I got into it, and I've actually read only, I think I read something like 22 chapters. Well, it said it is like first volume, but now that I think about it, 22 chapters can be like in one volume, in light novel, because it is something like 300. In the light novel itself is something like 340 pages, and I'm talking about pages like the Japanese version. And there can be 20 chapters. I think 10 chapters at the max. If these chapters are kind of like not that long, if they are kind of short. So I was thinking about maybe starting it, but at the same time, I think I have to finish reading Shokutense, because it is only like 15% left of the book, and but I don't know, I'm not interested. Instead, I'd rather read more Steins Gate, and I actually have a goal like to complete reading it at least in November, but actually as fast as possible, of course. And then after completing Steins Gate, get to reading Steins Gate 0, and then maybe Darling's Embrace and Elite, like complete whole series. And as this, I think I want to do it until the end of the year, until end of the 2021. And actually, right now thinking about it, that's insane. That's crazy to think that it's already year, like new year, and that's already the end of the 2021. It really did. It really did start a moment ago, but it's already November. It's already winter in Kazakhstan. Well, in South, I mean. Enough, I mean. So yeah, that's just crazy. And this is actually 25th episode of our monologues. It's kind of I think I would call this as an anniversary number. Yeah, half of the 50. And also, it's been more than something like, yeah, I think 1 year and 1 month after I started learning English. Initially, yeah, something like in, I think it was 5th October. I think it was 5th October 2020. I was not in my room actually. Well, in my room, yeah. Well, I had like one room with my elder brother, and I was just sitting on the like PC table, but I was doing my homework. We had an online classes, and I was just listening to some music from VK, and there was actually the Nagisa parting the fucking Ost from Planet, just Ost from Planet visual novel, and I was just listening to it and doing homework, and suddenly my brother came into the room, and I was like, "Oh, isn't that like opening of some anime?" And I was like, "No, it is not. It is an Ost from visual novel." And he says like, "No, no, it should be, it must be opening from some anime." And then I was like, like, no, it is not. Well, we started to argue a little bit, like have this discussion, and then he was like, okay, I know one guy who should know, and he'll like prove if I'm right. And then he just opens Steam and tries to his friend, to whom he did they hadn't interacted for something like 4 years. Yeah, after like graduating the college, they did not talk at all. Like, yeah, but they were friends in Steam, and then in something like, I think 5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes, he answered immediately and was like, and he linked the video of Dango Daizoku ending of Planet, and he said like, well, not opening, but pretty close, like ending. And I was like, oh, fucking yeah, 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 yep, yep. Not opening, of course, but yeah, it is an ending. And then he was like, my brother was like, well, I guess I should talk to him back, like to this guy. We did not we did not talk for like 4 years. Maybe get to know what's going on in his life, like yeah, and they just started to talk, and the guy said that he actually graduated from university this year, from the and he's an English teacher actually, and right now he doesn't work in school because he doesn't really want to. Yeah, he despised basically our like yeah education system, and he did not work, but he's a tutor mainly. And then my brother was like, if he's a tutor like of an English, maybe like you should like at least have a trial, like a free lesson, first lesson, which is free because you just get to know what is your level, what you need to do in general, like can he really like do anything. And yeah, and I was like, well, yeah, why not, let's try. And then I had a lesson, and I remember I was like, well, yeah, I think I need English for like IELTS. I need to like pass this thing and get like 6 points, 6.5. So like I'll get to the like university and all this stuff, all this shit, and like I needed to get to the like foreign universities, get like a good education, get good high education. And then and then he was like, okay, no problem, like and we had a lesson. He did a little test, and like just something like 10 exercises, and there was actually a task like, how do you call a person who doesn't have a job? And I was like, I don't know, that's too hard. And so yeah, I didn't know the word unemployed, or for example, how do you call like some kind of, there is also another easy one. I could not do it. And what else? So yeah, there were some kind of easy task. I think I did something like half of them only correctly. He was like, okay, I think, well, it is not actually bad, like because comparing to other people who are also only in your age, they are getting like even worse results. And I was like, well, I guess yeah, but the thing is, before that, I always I have been always participating on all of this, like city Olympiads by English subject, as someone who show who's like presenting my school. And I even got in seventh grade, like the year before. And the year before, I actually got third place. And what else? Yeah, in general, I got A marks in English, and I thought I was kind of good. Yeah, cause like sometimes I could understand like what was said or written, get the general idea, and I thought I was good. But then I was like, damn, I suck at English, and I could not talk at all. Of course, I could not talk at all. And I had very bad idea of learning languages, of learning in general. And yeah, from that from that time I changed a lot. Like my opinion changed a lot. My whole like view of for the for most of the things in world, I guess, even changed. And yeah, I'm thinking more like, not more, I'm thinking from different perspectives and trying to get as as optimal decision as possible, as effective as possible. And yeah, that time I also had this kind of imagination of studying a language, of knowing a language, like getting to like, of remembering the language, memorizing and remembering the words by just by the translations of the words in your language, only by that. mm, Doing only tasks and all this shit. And the that guy actually like tutor, and then in general I was like interested. I actually I think I would not have a free lesson, like a trial lesson, if my brother, if I would, if he would be like the, I would say, normie. But he's not a normie, I guess. Well, he's a normie, but he is very into anime, visual novels, light novels, and in Japanese culture in general. He's really into it because, well, comparing me to him, I'm very novice. I'm a beginner at Japanese culture, because before that, like, he was reading visual novels. Uh, mm, Before it became mainstream in something like 2011, 2012, he was already reading visual novels. Even though in Russian, he started watching anime in something like 2011 or 2010, and he immediately, yeah, also reading manga, of course, and then got to the reading light novels. And yeah, he basically he enjoys reading more, as you could guess, because in general he likes reading. Yeah, he's pretty, I would say, educational. He's pretty educated person in general. And after knowing this, I wanted to have a conversation with him, because yeah. And actually, after like the lesson ended, I also asked, like, in general, maybe he's doing anything else, maybe he has done anything else. And he was like, I mean, yeah, like last like 5 years, I've been studying Japanese. And like, oh, that's cool. Like, what is your level? Oh, I was like, oh, what are you going to do? And like, he said, well, I'm going to like do the N2 GLPT test. So I'll open the language center of Japanese in our city. And I was like very impressed, because opening language center like in our city, not an English one, and like Japanese, I was like, damn, cool. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but I did not understand. I thought he was like kind of casual learner. He's like not that good at Japanese. And something like after 3 days, I was like, I just wanted to look up um, about more about all of this GLPT test. I don't know. I didn't understand what he was talking about. GLPT, what's GLPT? And I was like, okay, GLPT N2. Because in my mind, I was like, well, the leveling should be like N1, the most easiest one, N2, a little bit hard, and N5, like as the number suggests, like the hardest one. And I was like, N2 is like not a big number. And when I searched up a little bit on YouTube, it turned out that N2 is actually second, second highest one. And I was like, damn, that's cool. And I checked like how many characters you should know, how many kanji you have to know to pass it, and it said 4,500 characters or something like this. And I was like, what the fuck? Is this guy insane? He's like remembered, he like remembered 4,000 characters and is going to pass this fucking test. I was like, what the fuck? He is insane. It is crazy. And that's the moment where I got impressed and I was like, damn, this guy is cool. Spoiler, you do not memorize 4,500 characters to pass N2. So anyway, I had this misconception about GLPT and I was like, damn, the next lesson I was like, what the fuck, man? I did a little bit of search up about this all your GLPT test and I kind of think you're insane. He was like, man, that's like not that cool result. I think it takes other people, it takes something like 2 to 3 years. And I was like, nah, man, I don't know, not sure if I'd be able to do this. And I was like, how did you do it? And he said something like, well, I was just reading in Japanese. And I was like, how did you read in Japanese? What do you mean you read in Japanese? Like you cannot like just from the beginning start. He said, well, of course you need to do a little bit of things before that, because nowadays we have a lot of tools, so you can look up for the translation of the words. And so basically you can read, and the more you read, the faster you get, the better you get, the more you understand. Yeah, so basically that's what happens. And plus, considering the fact that Japanese grammar is not that hard, they only have 2 tenses, which is past tense and present tense, and they use present tense as a future tense. So Japanese grammar is not that hard. You can get a grasp of it just by reading one guide which exists on the internet. So that's basically how I got into it. And then you can start from reading mangas and maybe visuals, but the main thing is being engaged with something you're reading, you're watching. And so basically that's how I did. And I was like, if this guy is saying that like in 4 years he did it, in like 4 years he got to this point, like in like 4 years, I was like, right now I'm like 14, right? I'm like 14, so English, I think I'm getting a little bit good at it. I think I'll get good at it. I was like, maybe also start learning Japanese, and like in 4 years, even 5 years, and like when I'll be in age of 19, I'll be like also knowing Japanese. And I was like, damn, yeah, that's cool. I want to learn Japanese too. But actually, I was like, before that, I was like, how do you learn English at first? How do you learn English? And he was like, actually, absolutely, kind of the same thing. You just get the environment of your target language you want to learn. If you are not in the environment, you just create it yourself. Just start by reading something easier, for example manga, because there you can see a lot of pictures and you're basically understanding what is happening. Or maybe just reread something you already read, something you like, watching YouTube, again start reading visual novels and just looking at translations. The more you encounter the words, you start to remember them. And I was like, oh, okay, I see, it all makes sense. And he was like, and actually like lessons as like traditional ones, doing all this exercises is like not the way to get really good at English. Not in English, at language. You can do it as like a little bit of as a build up for the basis, like get the basis, like you do the exercises so that you make sure that you got how tenses work, how grammar works, but you are not like constantly doing all these exercises and like getting to understand the language. You actually understand the language by more consuming it, by more reading, hearing it. You just get to feel the language basically. Yeah, you just feel it. And I was like, oh damn, this is all like totally makes sense. And I was like, yeah, I'll start doing it definitely. And so that day I started reading my first manga in Japanese, and the title of it was uh, Moon is Beautiful Tonight. By the way, like toriaizu shine, like, yeah, kind of weird title. And I think I was like reading the first chapter and I was like, what the fuck? It is all English, like damn English, only English, no Russian. What the fuck is going on? And I was like, yeah, trying my hardest to get what's happening, and I think I was getting like the general idea. Um, and the first word I didn't know was like on the second page or maybe third page was overwhelming. Yeah, it was over, and I was like, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I could read the first four letters, which was over, but then it was WHELMING, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then when I look up for the like translation, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I played the audio, overwhelming, and I was like, oh, okay, I understood, like. And then I continued. I got to encounter more and more words, and I was like very interested. At the same time, I was like, yeah, like I'm reading something really in English. I think I've read something like 6 or maybe 7 chapters, and then I stopped because I was like, I'm not really interested actually, and I was like, yeah, I should do something else. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll read Georgia, six chapter, 6 volume, 6 part Stone Ocean, and I think I read also something like 20 chapters. Yeah, I got used to the English more, to the Latin alphabet, to seeing Latin characters in general more. Yeah, there were a lot of words I've rewritten. I was actually rewriting everything I like didn't know, and I did fuck, bruh. I did actually write the translation, and it was not the best thing I've done. It is, I think, the worst one, because I didn't actually reread what I've wrote here, and actually it was useless, waste of time, and plus it again, there is only like word in English and then translation in Russian. That's not the way to remember words. You have to remember them in context, like with the sentence where you found that word, so you'll understand like in which context it is used. But I did not know about this at that time, and so basically I started to remember just words after seeing them more and more. Yeah, basically just by practice, which is reading. And then I started watching YouTube, and YouTube became my addiction. I start watching them with subtitles, and actually, most of the people like who have language as their second language, most of the time YouTube was something where they learned English, because there are so many content in English. That's actually the thing about English. Well, it is the most spoken language in the world, and the reason people getting like basically learning English through YouTube because there are a lot of good content, and the reason they're having a lot of content, a lot of good content in English, because there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who do like English channel, English content, and so as a consequence, we got a lot of competition. And if there is a lot of competition, it means that the actual only the best ones are like surviving. Ah, fuck. 喉がカラカラ。So yeah, I started watching with subtitles and then little by little without subtitles. And there was actually a podcast called Trash Taste, which definitely it was something that improved my English, because there are basically I would say my 3 favorite YouTubers. Maybe I would think any YouTubers, 3 favorite any YouTubers are like talking to each other, and it was interesting for me in general. And there's actually a dub channel, like in Russian, he dubs their podcast. One of them, like one of this YouTuber. So basically, before that, I watched like the dubbed version of of the video, and after that, I watched like the fucking original one with subtitles. And then little by little I stopped doing it, and I just started to understand. So after that, I just got into YouTube rabbit hole, and I got some clip from some anime, some moment from anime, got into my recommendations, and I watched it, and I was like, damn, I understand everything, and I was like, I think I should start watching anime with English subtitles, and it was also a very good idea. I also started doing it. I was understanding pretty much everything, and I even remember my first anime which I watched with English subtitles. It was Akunohana. Akunohana is also actually the manga. I've actually read even the manga of it in Japanese, and actually it is very easy. Like in general, it's not hard. There's the reason I didn't have that much problems like watching anime in English with English subtitles, and yeah, that's the reason why I also could like read it in Japanese, Japanese manga of it, and yeah. So basically, my main thing which really improved my English was reading was manga, and then I started I actually read 2 visual novels in English. It was Doki Doki Literature Lab, and another one, Kidnapped Girl, which is actually very bad. It's not a good visual novel. It is very short, something like 1 hour. And then after it, actually at that time, I also tried to read my first visual novel, which was in Russian, from Russian developers, Everlasting Summer, and I was like, it was too hard for me. I was like, damn, that's too hard. I could not read it, and after I didn't even get to the point to rereading it, because after reading a little bit, I started to reading a little bit of articles in English, even like a little bit, and watching a lot of YouTube. I got recommended to read not the book, actually, light novel. That's when I again got back to light novels. My teacher recommended one light novel called Zarigoto, and he was like, yeah, this one is pretty cool, like in general, very interesting. Plus, writer is Nishio Ishin. He was like, you like Monogatari series, right? And this is like the author of Monogatari series. and I was like, damn, yeah, this is cool. I have to read it, and I've actually it took me something like 3 weeks, I think, but I wasn't constantly reading. Only was focused on it reading. Mm, I was just reading when I had time, when I felt like. For example, when I was in the bus, I would read it. When I don't know, when I had nothing to do, maybe I was bored, and I was like, maybe I should read a little bit. I would read, and so yeah, fuck, my head, so-called fuck. How is it called? My throat kind of hurts. I don't know. Kind of weird. I think I talked too much. So that's basically how it happened. Yeah, and then I just started to read more and more light novels. And what else? And then I just started to, when I got pretty confident with understanding English, I was like, damn, I think it's time to actually try to talk. And I started, and the result was way more better because I actually have more words. Because before that, I did not understand. I did not even understand English. How can you talk in the language you don't even understand? And that's stupid. In like from the beginning, it doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, I got better and better by little, and improvement happened kind of fast. And yeah, to be fair, I think my English something like it did not change since April, maybe May. I think it is kind of same level. Yeah, and the reason being, so I mean, yeah, of course it is very bad. It is actually very bad. I'm not that fluent while talking. I mean, my level of English is something on like, if I'll be in some English speaking country, I'll be able to live. Yeah, I'll be able to live. Maybe if I have some kind of lessons at school in English, I would get the most part, but I won't be having that much of difficulties. But sure, there will be some problems, but in general, not that bad. So yeah, that's how I describe my level of English. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I can have deep conversations in English, and it actually also solely depends on the topic. For example, if it's something like really first time hearing, I'm not sure if I'd be able to have a deep conversation about it. But for the but mostly, I mean, for the most like topics, I think ordinary ones, I can easily have deep conversations. And also what else? And sometimes this thing called not knowing the translation way to say it in English also happens, and it already shows your level. You're not that much from fluency, I would say. Yeah, but I think I would say we could consider my English as the fluent one, as like the fluent, because I mean, I think I can have monologue for something like maybe 15 minutes, not having that much problems. And actually, I'm not really sure how to how to how to really be sure. Is it me having problems with English, or me having problems with like talking, being able to express my thoughts in general? Because even when I speak in my first language, Like, yeah, I'm very bad at explaining things, at expressing my thoughts more in a brief manner, in a clear way. I'm talking like some kind of like, I don't know how to actually express it again. Yeah, I'm doing kind of too long explanation, too long storytelling. And yeah, I'm thinking like in general, like in my native human language, like I'm thinking in general, like there is a thinking process which takes up a lot of time, and plus adding to that English, yeah, it should be taking like even more time. So yeah, so the reason, I mean, I'm understanding that my English is actually stagnating. Yeah, it is on the same level since April or May, because I didn't actually do anything with it, because I don't know, I don't find any any necessity to improve it, because I don't know, I can easily watch like videos in English with play speed of doubled. Yeah, I'm kind of doing it. I would say often. Yeah, time to time when a video is kind of like 1.5 of an hour length. I'll be like not having that much time. I'll be like watching it with doubled speed, and I'm not having that much problems. And what else? So yeah, like reading. I'm not reading that much articles, and that's the reason sometimes I'll be having like problems with understanding like the article. I mean, I won't have problems with understanding the article, but there probably will be new words. But I think if I'd be reading articles in general a lot, I would have more of a cap. But yeah, and because I do not read that much. Yeah, since March, I think I haven't been reading any kind of light novels, even, or visual novels, like in English even. And if I'd have to, I would not have problems. And this is the reason I haven't been getting better in English, and I'm also not interested in reading English like novels, real novels, some kind of literature, because again, I'm not interested. There isn't something which would yeah, there isn't something interesting for me, appealing. And the another thing is, because I'm more concentrated on Japanese now, and if I have to, even like if I have to watch something or read something, right now it is only Japanese, and it totally makes sense why my English is not improving. And the only thing I do in English is maybe watching YouTube videos, but even that, I'm actually I actually stopped doing. Yeah, instead I watch more Japanese, even though I may be not understanding everything what is happening, like what is said. But I mean, that's the thing about it. You have to actually get good with ambiguity, this kind of thing of not understanding everything. You just have to get used to it. And yeah, so anyway, I'll be better right now, like listening to more Japanese to get better in Japanese. So yeah, there's a reason. But I think, yeah, I have to do something with that. But again, I'm not having any so-called any motivation to do it, because I think, yeah, that's enough for now. Like, I won't have that much problems with this level of English. And I think, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So I think until the next episode, and my throat is kind of hard. It's hurting a lot.